Hello, beloved ones. Hamutembe here. Welcome to the Naked Extraordinary Embodiment Blueprint Pod. This is where we take off everything, all the mask, and we sit with ourselves and we face ourselves. Because I truly believe that for us to have a voice, to have an identity, to have a name, we get to face ourselves. And today, I welcome you to this episode. Are you sacrificing what truly matters for the illusion of success or love? And with that said, I invite you to just breathe in deep. What is coming through for you when you hear this question? How is your body responding to this? Do you get a knee-jerk reaction? Or do you just roll your eyes? Or are you interested to find out if at all you are sacrificing what truly matters? Or maybe you're just wondering, what is it that truly matters to you? Do you really know that? Or you just don't know, you going through life, just going with whatever that is in front of you, living life by default. And you are right, you are here for the right reason. If at all you are living your life by default, because we are about to change that. And if at all is the first time that you're watching me and you're wondering who is Haumotemme, the Freedom Illuminator, human MRI psychic surgeon, I am all that and more. But in short, I help high achievers to finally break free. I mean, forever break free from generational toxic imprints, patterns, curses, and hexes, so that they can embody their emotional independence, they can embody their spiritual and sexual sovereignty and attract soul-aligned relationship and live the life that they truly deserve, being fulfilled and define what really success is according to them. That is living the life according to your values and also attracting the love that honors your true value, the love that honors your worth, the love that loves you even in your ugly moments, not where you go through life wondering if you are lovable, feeling like you need to hide some aspects of yourself. What if you just given permission to show up as you are? Just show up. It's okay for you to be naked. It's okay for you to feel. This is the space that I am creating here. And going back to the question that I asked, if you're sacrificing what truly matters for the illusion of success or love, the truth is, as much as we have painted this picture of relationships, of success, whether it's business or a career, often we are chasing this. Like I say, the society does not really teach us to connect with ourselves and what truly matters for us. Often we are just born into a family and we go through life living from whatever that we found, and often we even disconnect from our true being, our truth, really, because we want to fit in. Because it's natural that for a human, the most important thing is for you to survive. And I know you didn't come in this lifetime for you to just die so early. So you needed to find ways to adapt, to survive, to fit in, so you get to silence your own voice, you get to silence your own truth. And eventually you are not even aware that you are wearing a mask because this becomes your natural skin, your natural way of being. It's kind of like, this is who I am, and take me as I am, love me as I am, which is also an illusion because our personality changes as we evolve, as we heal. We find that whatever that we thought we were, it was just adaptation, you know. So it's not all that, all the anger, all of that is not who you are. Because I used to, as much as I was ashamed of the anger, which was my base emotion growing up, at the same time, I had this thing of, this is what I am, just love me as I am. But then I realized that, that was just a defense mechanism. When somebody said something, it was like, whoa, you coming for me? I want you to just stop there. Then you just show up with all this anger. You don't even get to hear what is being communicated. And that has to shift as you evolve and embody who you truly are. But where is this coming from? What is it that inspired me to have a conversation like this with you today? I was inspired by one thing that I reflected on, and I had a conversation with my daughter. I'm gonna be emotional in this episode as we go through this because one thing that people believe is that, oh, after you have healed something, you never get to feel its emotions and all that. But that's not true. Why? Because all these memories lives within us. It's another thing when you can feel. This is why I believe in the power of authenticity and vulnerability. You live through things, you experience things, the memories are still active in your life. Like everything is present right here, right now, right? It's another thing when I tap into something, then it overwhelms my nervous system. I cannot recover from it. But when I think of just the choices, the decisions that I had to make over time, I cannot help but to be emotional. And it's the emotions that honors the journey that is beautiful and unique in its own way. So we were watching something with my daughter, and I watched this part where the woman was more, I don't want to use the word empowered, but she loved the man more than she loved herself. And that means somehow the children were getting a tiny bit of her support because it was like everything that the husband says, it goes, right? And when I connected to that, I was like, wow, I can just imagine how many women go through this, and at times men, right? They go through that situation where for them to be in a relationship or for the relationship to go on, they had to sacrifice their own truth. They had to disconnect to what they really need because they want to make this other person that is important for them happy. And that's what I call loving somebody else more than you love yourself. And I could, in my opinion, that's not love truly, you know. And if at all you don't allow yourself to stand for your own truth, that means your children are going to be compromised. They're not going to get the support and the love that they need. And whatever that they say is going to be sidelined because you want to be this shiny person and all that, even though you don't agree, you are not willing to call your partner. Oof, to call your partner to rise up, like holding your partner accountable. Because for me, when you're talking about relationship, the main thing is about growing together. Be with someone who's going to call you up on your bullshit so that you can evolve, not somebody who's going to celebrate you and then just compliment you for the sake of it, even if you know you're not right, even though I don't want to say right because it's not about right or wrong, right? There's no right or wrong. Everything just is. The question is, what are we making of it? Everything is there to inform us. How is that landing? And tell me where you're watching this from. What is it that is standing out for you? And when you look at your relationship, whether it's professional, whether it's personal, where do you see yourself compromising your own truth, your own values, just because you want to be loved, you want to be promoted, you want a bonus, you know? Because if you do that, it's not only impacting your own growth, your own evolution, but it's impacting other people's growth and evolution. But most of all, it's affecting those who need your support the most. And back to the conversation that I had, I was just reflecting on my own separation with my children. For some of you who do not know, I went through a situation where I was separated from my children for 5 years. And along the way, I had uh, a child in my partnership, marriage, whatever you call it. Yeah. So while I was in the process waiting for this little girl to come through, I remember my partner telling me that we don't have to bring these other children here. They're just okay where they are. We can just send money and support them by their father, you know. And that was somebody who was telling me that I'm okay now, I've got something here, and I don't need those who can just support them from far. And the question is, what is important to me? Is it something that I can live with? Is it something that when I'm lying on the deathbed, I can say I made the right decision? It was a no. So even the time when my marriage was ending, I just knew At that point, it was a defining moment to say, what are you going to choose? Are you going to allow the wound of being married, which at times for people is just like for survival, for some people it's just for status, position, however that they're perceived in the society. What is it that you really stand by? What is more important for you? And for me, it was a situation where I was separated from my children, where it's kind of like, let's just leave them there. For you, it might be you being in a relationship where there is toxicity, whether it's financial abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, but you still stand for that. Even though you know, as much as you may be using your children as an excuse to say that I'm doing that for this for the children because I want them to have both parents, but you know the damage that you are doing to those children. It might be a workplace, whether it's business career, where it's toxic, you don't even have the time for you to be with those you love, let alone you don't even have time for yourself. And what about your health even? Because it's quite interesting because it still connect with something that I reflected on again today, where I still remember when my daughter was 4 months old and I was working day and night, at times coming home at 2 a.m. I used to be an accountant, by the way, for some of you who do not know. So I remember one day I went for lunch and then I left my bag in the car. Yeah, deliberately, strategic move. I left it in the car. And my intention was after hours, I'm going to leave. So I remember when I left the office vividly, and I got into the elevator and immediately I switched off my phone. I got into the car and I drove and I went home. And tomorrow I was called for a hearing. But when I look at it, at that moment, that's what I needed because I was breastfeeding on top of that. So sometimes we find ourselves in positions where we feel like we don't have any choice, and you may not have a choice as in like that's the culture that is in that organization, but at the end of the day, what are you doing about it? If you sit there and you complain about it and you talk about it and you bond about that with your colleagues, about that with your friends, whether it's talking about your partner or whatever, it's like, oh yeah, because misery loves company. Often we find ourselves with people where we can say we've been friends for years, but at the end of the day, your friendship and whatever that is binding you is because you come together and means that, oh, he did that, she did that. Oh, you talk about your boss and all that. What the fuck are you doing about it? Because it doesn't help anyone, even if it can be in a partnership where we come together. I come from work and I tell my partner, you know what my boss did today? And we get on to that, talking about what the boss did and how toxic, unfair, whatever, and all those politics and all that. The question is, by listening to you wallowing in that toxicity and you not taking any action, how is that benefiting you? How is my relationship even helping you? At times it's very important to even reflect on your conversations with your partner in relationship. What are you talking about? Are you talking about what's wrong? Or are you talking about something that it helps you to create something that elevates both of you? Are you creating something? Are you helping each other grow? Or you are more into what's wrong? It doesn't matter whether it's politics or whatever. Where is your conversation on a daily basis? Which also comes back to yourself, because the conversation with yourself is a conversation that you end up having with other people. Sometimes you chase the illusion of achievement, the illusion and the pressure of external validation, the illusion of love, and you neglect the most important thing in your relationship. And at times it can be the most important person. It's like the person that you are looking at, the person in the mirror, the person who is sitting in front of me. And at times we are quick to say, when we hear something, you are thinking of, what can I tell my partner about this so that they can reflect and maybe change and all that. But you, if at all you are uncomfortable with something, you are the one who's meant to change it, right? And this takes us back even to the family dynamics. You can be born in a family where it was a toxic environment. And for other siblings, it's kind of like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, that happened to all of us. What are you on about? But yet your nervous system has been crippled by all that happened. You can't move past that. It disturbs you. And you are also seeing it playing out in your external world because whatever that we create within is affirmed by the external. Whatever that we see outside is a reflection of what is within us. So if something is not right for you, the question is, what is it that your soul called you to give birth to? What is it that your soul desire to express through you? Sometimes we don't reflect because it's just normal. Everybody goes through it. But what if you are not meant to be normal? This is what I'm saying. Normal is boring. It's not sexy at all. It's overrated. That's why I'm asking you and inviting you to be your embodiment of your extraordinary self, to face yourself, to look at things that normally are not looked at. Because if it bothers you, if it took you this time for you to sit here and listen to this, then there is a reason. What is it that you are sacrificing that truly matters to you? Because to really like live the life that you really deserve, you need to be connected to yourself. You need to be connected to your emotions. This is what I'm calling embodying your emotional independence, because at times you get to be with other people because of the codependency, and you can end up confusing that with love, confusing that with success or achievement, or being liked, people pleasing, and all that. And at times it happens because you don't even know who you are. I had a conversation with an amazing person when she said, how I have been through a lot. I know I'm a strong person. I've been through a lot. I've endured a lot. But my question is, what is the point of all this? Because I feel like I'm aligned, but I don't see anything that came out of this. And I asked her, is it possible that indeed you are aligned, but you are creating from the templates that you inherited? And for you, when you're talking about strong, it's about the strength of overcoming adversity, not the strength of creating, which we all go through that, right? Where when we look at our ancestral lineages, which is a big part of this work that we get to do, some overcame betrayal, abuse, abandonment, rejection, slavery, racism, a lot of stuff, right? They overcame so that we can be here to create. But some of you are still stuck in overcoming. You're still taking pride in look at how strong I am, look at how much I survived, and you are looking for another mountain to climb because you want to survive. You don't want to create, you don't want to be inspired. You are waiting for something to happen so that you can run away. You are surviving from desperation. You're running away from one thing to the other, and that means you keep on creating something to be desperate from. This is why it's vital that you get to heal the imprints that you created your life from so that you can create something that turns you on. You can connect to that true desires, that which turns you on. You can be pulled by something bigger than you. And that happens when you can have a bigger overview of what is happening, not just looking at from the eyes of the physical being, right? So that's what I had for you today. I just came here to ask you those questions. And I want you to reflect on your love life, on your relationship, professional, business, and ask yourself this question. Am I choosing what's truly important to me, or I am choosing what satisfies my wounds or external expectations? Mm. Sometimes it can be as simple as getting married. I've been married for 20 years, 30 years. Yeah. But what is the quality of those 20 years? Are you fully present and emotionally available for yourself and your loved ones? Or are you stuck in patterns that prevents you from giving yourself and your loved ones the love and security that you need? It's your life. Live it in alignment with what you deserve. That is, connect your desires and create the life that you deserve. Embody your extraordinary embodiment blueprint and do something different that your ancestors, your family have never done before. I love you. I would leave with this, and I can't wait to connect with you next time. Tell me what came through, and if you know that there is someone who can benefit from this, share, and don't forget to subscribe. Much love. Bye bye.